Welcome to the Lawns and Life podcast, where DIYers go to get the tips and advice they need to have a great looking lawn. What's up, y'all? My name is Devin, the DIY lawn coach. Hope you're doing well. Hope things are going well for you. Welcome back to another episode of the Lawns and Life podcast. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. I know I certainly did. Hope Santa Claus brought you everything that you asked for sure. Hope you got to spend some time with your friends and family, eat a bunch of food. It was good for me. I love Christmas. It's a lot of fun. Got to open up some presents and spend some time with friends and family. I'm actually taking this week off of work from my 9 to 5 and enjoying some time at the house, which is nice. Gives me an opportunity to kind of recharge the batteries and get ready for next year. So I also hope you guys enjoyed last week with Mr. Ferguson. That was awesome. One of the really cool parts about this podcast is getting it to get folks on here and have a conversation with them. And I'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. I have some more guests planned, two of which I've already been in communication with, and I'm extremely excited to get them on the podcast. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you are subscribed. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or on YouTube Music, it's another great way to watch. You can minimize that, put it in your pocket, go to work, put it in the car, take it with you wherever you go. And then also I'm on Spotify now as well, so you can check out the podcast there. So make sure you subscribe. It'll send you a little notification whenever a new episode comes out. So yeah, it's growing. It's awesome. Everything's going well. I'm super excited. So I'm also really excited to tell you guys that we are adding a segment to the podcast called Mindful Moments. And what mindful moments are is just a second where we're gonna pause each episode, and we're gonna pause for a second and we're gonna reflect on something, right? Whether, just kind of put our feet on the ground, realize where we are, what's going on. It could be, me giving advice, could be me talking about a win in my life, could be something that a viewer has submitted, want to celebrate, whatever it is. We're just going to be mindful about it. We're going to reflect on it. And I'm super excited to bring this segment to you guys. So let's start with the very first mindful moment.
It can be hard to slow down and notice things in a busy world. Mindful moments is where we pause for a moment to reflect on the here and now. After all, life is happening now. We simply need to take time to notice. These small yet profound experiences remind us that life is not about the destination, but the journey we take to get there.
And so, yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're just going to take a moment. We're going to pause. We're going to reflect. We're going to look at what we're doing, what's going on. And so this week, our very first mindful moment, I'm going to offer some words of encouragement to you guys. We just flipped the calendar over to 2025, and with a new year brings new challenges, brings new things, kind of starting anew. And the words of encouragement that I want to give you guys, if you guys remember the old Nike commercial, I don't know if it's old anymore. I guess they probably still say it, right? It's just do it. And I want to encourage you, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, I want you to just do it. All right. So you guys know back in 2024, way back in 2024, we started a YouTube channel, and I had no intentions of starting a YouTube channel. And it's taken me places and introduced me to people. And I've developed friendships and connections that I never thought I would. There's no way I could have fathomed that starting this channel would bring me to do this. But I love it. And had I not done it, had I sat on the sidelines, had I thought about, giving myself all the reasons to not do it, it would have happened. And so I want to offer you some words of encouragement and say to you, whatever that thing is, if it's a new hobby, or maybe you're going to start a YouTube channel, whatever it is, I want you to just do it. I don't want you to be afraid like I was for so long. I sat on the sidelines of not having this channel. And I didn't, I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of what people would say. My close friends, my family, like, what are they going to think? And I want to offer you some words of encouragement to say, just do it. Don't be afraid. I started this channel with nobody watching. I started my podcast with nobody listening. And again, I'll say this, the reason why I started this channel was not for me. It was for you, and in hopes that you would get something out of it. I know how to take care of my lawn. I get great results taking care of my lawn. But what good does it do me to just keep it all for myself? And so I thought, we'll start this thing and see where it goes. And again, if whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, jump in, feet first, give it all you got, but just do it. And so where this mindful moment kind of came from was a comment from a viewer named Mark Wilson. And I'll kind of throw up a picture if you're watching on YouTube. If not, if you're just listening, always go back and watch it on YouTube. It kind of gives you some visuals. But if you are watching, you'll see it up on the screen right now. And if you're not, Mark just said that he was inspired to start doing his own lawn because of me. And to me, that means the world. That is my why. That is why I do it. That's why I take the time to make these videos, to sit and talk to you, because I want to make a difference. I want to change someone's life. I want to inspire them and give them confidence to do something maybe they had never thought about doing before. So again, today's mindful moment is I just want you to do it. Whatever it is, just do it. Today's podcast is going to be about the Yard Mastery app. And if you're a DIYer, you certainly know what the Yard Mastery app is. If you don't, flip that rock over. It's time to come out into 2025. We DIYers now have an app. And it was created by Alan Haim and his team over at the Yard Mastery. And it's a fantastic app. And I want to kind of delve into that with you. We're gonna talk about what it is, what it isn't, the good, the bad. And first, let me say that I'm an affiliate with Yard Mastery. I'm an affiliate with GCI Turf and Do My Own. And if you don't know what an affiliate is simply, so I am not paid by Yard Mastery. I'm not paid by GCI Turf. I'm not paid by Do My Own. They're not sponsors. They don't endorse, I don't have to endorse their products. I am simply an affiliate. So that means that, when you go online or you sign to a website, it says, hey, do you want to accept the cookies? And so what that is just a way of tracking you on your computer. And so when I give you a link and you choose to buy something using that link, that cookie gets tracked back to the service, and it gives me credit, and I get a little bit of commission back for you buying that. And so obviously, I want to recommend products that I know are going to serve you well. Usually, they're products that I've used myself. Again, I don't make a whole lot of money on it, but it does help me, support the channel. But if I make a recommendation for a product that doesn't live up to the expectations that I say it does, chances are you're probably not going to use my links anymore. And so it's important for me to make sure I'm giving you guys the right advice, the right products. But I say all that to say that I apologize. I'm got a little bit of I guess a sinus infection maybe. And so it's a whole bunch of nastiness. So if I cough or whatever, I apologize, but we're getting over it. We're going to get better, I promise. And so back to Yard Mastery. So I'm an affiliate. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't pay me in any way. So the views that I give you are of my own. I'm not being paid by them to represent or misrepresent a product. So when I recommend Yard Mastery, I recommend GCI Turf. It's my own. What's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's my own. Opinion, right? They're not influencing me anyway. So I say all that because we're going to talk about the Yard Mastery app, and I want you guys to know that the Yard Mastery, Alan Hain, they're not paying me to say this. These are my own thoughts, my own opinions. And so I can be honest about it and tell you guys exactly how I feel about it. So first of all, it is a free app. You can find it in the Google Play Store. If you didn't know, you can find it on the App Store as well. And it's free to download, doesn't cost you anything, which is fantastic. But as with most apps, anytime something is free, usually it's costing you something, and that something usually is your information. And so I imagine that Alan Hain, being the smart businessman that he is, he's looking for data, he's looking for information. And so having this app gives him the ability to kind of understand who's buying what and what times a year they're buying it and how much, and some useful information if that's the business that you're in. So it makes sense. So the trade-off is we get a free app and he gets some information about us. You do have to sign up for an account, so you need a valid email and username, log in, all that good stuff. But once you get in, there is a ton of really good resources for DIYers. Okay. And we'll kind of go into a little bit about some of them. So first, looking at probably one of the best features that I really enjoy is kind of twofold. I guess, number one, the reason why I like it, the reason why I use it. And I'll talk about reasons why, the ways that I don't use it as well, because there's some features on the app that I don't use. But there are some that are really handy. And I think the number one thing is that it's handy, that it's easy. I take my phone with me everywhere I go. And so it just makes it, I guess that's probably why phones are so addicting, is because they're with us all the time. It's always in my pocket. And so if I need information about my lawn, or maybe I want to know what the soil temperature is, or I need to add, an application to my journal, if you will, it's just really handy. It's always there for me to be able to use. I don't have to keep up with it. Again, it's on my phone. And so it just makes it really easy. But a really cool feature about the app is it does have a soil temperature, which I guess, all of these things you could do independently, right? Like you could do all of this on your own. None of this is really groundbreaking. It's just that it's all in one package, and that's what makes it so convenient. So you can go find out your soil temperature if you wanted to. I think it's called the Greencast tool, which is actually what Alan built, the algorithm or whatever, uses the same Greencast tool. But, when you sign up for that account, you got to put in your zip code. You tell it what your grass type is. You give it your address. And so it uses all of that data to determine your soil temperatures. And we talk about how important soil temperatures are to us DIYers. There's a bunch of different milestones that happen throughout the year. So, it just makes it convenient. It's really easy to have access to. I don't have to go to a separate site. It's all in one place, right? It's easy to follow. It does have a calendar on it as well, which I really enjoy. So you guys know I have lawn plans, and that's what I use. That's what I follow. But I actually put my applications when I make them in that calendar. And the reason why I do that is so that if something were to ever happen, or I need to go back and look and see when did I put down fertilizer? When did I put down, Pre Emergent 3 years ago? It just makes it really easy. And I can quickly toggle back 2 or 3 years ago and see, what was going on. There's a note section in there in that calendar. So it's super great, super easy. Again, we're going to say that probably 1,000 times. So I really like the calendar. Yeah, I really like the journal aspect. If you are using My Lawn Plan, um, you want to have, whether you're using My Lawn Plan or not, I guess you want to make sure that you're using some kind of journal. You're documenting the applications that you're making, the rates at which you're applying them, because if something were to happen, or you need to go back and look, or you can't remember, having that journal, that log of what happened. I'll give you a specific example. I was dealing with some fungus a couple years ago, and I reached out to the local extension office at NC State. And the first thing that the turf pathologist asked me for was, well, what did you apply? What were your intervals? How much? All that kind of stuff. What was the weather? All that kind of stuff. So because I had that journal, I could easily go back and tell him, yeah, I applied azoxystrobin on this day. I applied propiconazole on this day. That was 14 days apart. And then I used this, and then I applied this fertilizer. And he's like, whoa, you applied fertilizer. So that, whatever. So it's just, all of those were tools that help him understand my situation. So if I didn't have that information, it probably would have been more difficult. So one thing that I'm not too fond about is the store aspect. I mean, I don't really use that too much. I would probably recommend going to thediylawncoach.com and maybe using his links. Anyway, I don't typically use the store, but if you want to go to the DIYLawnCoach.com, I'd certainly appreciate it. Again, we talked about the links. That would certainly support the channel, but I don't use the store feature on there. It does have a fertilizer calculator feature within the app, which is really cool, especially for you if you're really new to it. I don't typically use that very much anymore, but it is on there. I'm so dialed in on my lawn plan, I don't really have to use that. But if that's something you want to use, it is there. Again, really convenient. Another feature that I really like is the soil test. You can view all of your soil tests. Now, there's one caveat: you do have to use a particular type of soil test through my soil test kits, which I'm also a big fan of and highly recommend. I think they're really easy, they're accurate, they're quick to get back to you. It's just, and the fact that it puts it all inside that app is just it's just, again, we're bundling all this stuff together to make it easy for us, right? And that's what he's doing. He's making it easy. There is a lawn measurement tool on there as well. It probably uses an algorithm within Google Maps, I believe. Again, you could go do that on your own, but it's there. And so if you need to quickly measure your lawn, you can do that. I would recommend, though, if you have never measured your lawn, that's a great starting point. But I still recommend that you go the old school style, get out the tape measure, length times width, right? And get out there and physically measure it. Because when you're drawing those dots and those points on the map, they may or may not be accurate. I mean, you'll be close, but the best thing to do is to take the time and get out there with measuring tape and measure it the right way. The other thing that has is a suggested lawn plan, which obviously I don't follow that. And it's not perfect, right? None of this is perfect by any stretch. Just does a really good job, again, putting it all together. But it does have a suggested lawn plan based on your grass type. You tell it, do you want a hybrid, like liquid, granular? Are you going to do a fall overseed? And basically, it has an algorithm within it that looks at your soil temperature, the time of year, and it tells you when you need to apply certain things. Now, it's not a complete deal, right? It doesn't tell you about pest control. It doesn't really tell you anything about weed control. But if all you wanted to use it for was biostimulants and fertilizer, it does a pretty good job. I have seen, some wonky things happen, especially towards the end of the year when the soil temperatures are kind of bouncing around. It'll tell you need to apply fertilizer and it's like 30 degrees outside. And so I've seen some of that happen, but it's just kind of weird, but not perfect, but still it's a great app. If you have never used it before, give it a try. It's a great starting point, especially for DIYers. Again, it puts everything right at our fingertips, makes it super easy. I'm really looking forward to kind of where this app is going for us. Like what's the future of it? Because again, it just makes it really easy. All the critical information that you need is right there at your fingertips. It's super easy to navigate. I've actually had a couple problems with the app. I think some information wasn't loading right or pictures or something. I reached out to their team and they got back to me really, really quickly. They were super friendly. So, I would recommend it. If you were looking for a place to start, you were getting into lawn care, this would be a great app to have. Just for, again, all the things that we talked about. And it's all right there. So do I use it? Yeah, absolutely. I use it. Again, we talked about the main reason is that journal. I like knowing what I've applied, how much. Again, I don't follow the lawn suggestions. I use my own lawn plan, but I like having the soil temperatures. I like knowing, air temperatures. Again, it's just a great app. Go give it a try. So the last segment that we're going to talk about in this podcast is it too early to start thinking about your pre-emergent? And we were talking about the app and soil temperatures, and you guys know the milestone that we're looking for. Again, we're still a ways off. It could be February, maybe early March before we start talking about pre-emergent. But it's not too early to start kind of getting your plan, getting it together. Start thinking about it. Here's why we're talking about it now is because when it comes to pre-emergence, the most important thing is we have to get it in the soil, watered in before soil temperatures reach 55 degrees. Now, here in Western North Carolina, a lot of parts of the country, the air temperature, especially as we get closer to February and March, it could really start bouncing around up and down. You can get air temperatures maybe 70 degrees and then back down to 30 and then up to 80 degrees and then back down to 40. Well, that boomerang effect does have an effect on the soil temperatures. And so if soil temperatures were to get above 50, 55 degrees for a couple days, then yes, those crabgrass plants are going to start germinating. So I'm of the opinion that I want to have my pre-emergent watered in sooner rather than later. It is the most important application you're going to make all year to prevent weeds and to really get your lawn off on the right foot for the next season. Because while pre-emergent doesn't stop all the weeds, it stops the big ones. Main one being crabgrass that can just devastate your lawn. And so I just want you guys thinking about it. Are you going to use a granular? Are you going to use a liquid this year? Go ahead and get it and have it in your arsenal, so that when you're watching those soil temperatures, you're ready to go and you don't have to say, "Oh crap, it's 55 degrees and now I don't have my stuff with me." Go ahead and have it. Get your plan together. Just be thinking about it. Are you going to do a split application? We're going to continue to talk about Pre Emergents going down the road as we get closer to probably more February timeframe. But it's not too early to start thinking about it. I promise. It will be here before you know it. So until then, I really appreciate you guys checking out the podcast today. Thank you so much for listening. And I want to remind you guys, remember to sign up for my email list. If you want to support all the work that I'm doing on this channel, on the podcast, please consider becoming a channel member as well. We launched those earlier a couple weeks ago. You'll get early release of the videos. You'll get discounts on my lawn plans. You'll get special access to me to help you take care of your lawn. If you need some counseling, I have a lawn coaching side business that I do here in Western North Carolina where I coach clients, but I could also do it virtually. We could meet via Zoom, have a conversation, and let me go one-on-one with you and talk about your lawn and talk about your goals and how you can achieve them and what you need to do. Again, same thing I do with my clients here, but we would do it via Zoom, and you'll get special discounts if you're a channel member. So please consider subscribing to that, and all the details can be found on my YouTube channel page. So God bless you guys. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast. My name is Devin. I am the DIY Lawn Coach, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Peace.